degrees and sunny, just the way I always wanted. 더 바랄 것도 없어. 지금 이대로면 좋아. 따스한 햇볕이 가득 담은 Sand River. The bluebirds peaceful to sing along that I love you. Oh, 그대여 나와의 거리를 걸어요. Oh, 난 그저 잔디밭에 누워 있어도 좋아요. 반짝이는 저기 Eiffel Tower shines from anywhere. 아름다워. When I'm not with you, all these shiny seas don't mean a thing. 눈동자 비친 Avenue des Champs-Élysées. 그대와 같이 romantic해요. I love you. Oh, 그대여 나와의 거리를 걸어요. Oh, 난 그저 잔디밭에 누워 있어도 좋아요. Oh, 그대여 나와의 거리를 걸어요. Oh, 난 그저 그대 곁에 머문다면 좋아요. Oh, 그대여 나와의 거리를 걸어요. Oh, 난 그저 잔디밭에 누워 있어도 좋아요.
이게 다 뭐야?
I was never the one to write up a song for just anyone. I was always the one to find myself lost in all conversations of 'Cause I've always been told that things will unfold if you keep on waiting. But then you came along and proved me all wrong. I was so mistaken. 'Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. I was never the one to give up the ghost. No, I was so stuck. I kept on playing my part, wanted to give up 'cause nothing was changing. But with you it's so clear, and now that you're here I see colors in every spectrum. Guess I finally learned my lesson. 'Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. Myself, and I'm thinking out loud, we won't need nothing else for the rest of our time. And I know it so well, I will always be by your side. 'Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. 'Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby.
저쪽으로 비껴줘, 오지. 방해가. 응.